Hola guys, this is Tarot by Tess with your Cancer bonus reading from now through mid-October. Hoping the video is oriented right. I actually have the camera hanging precariously, so if it jiggles a little bit or a lot, I can't fix it right now. Okay, so I did a Celtic cross spread for you. I'm not exactly sure how much you can see without putting my face on camera and looking, but I will mention the cards when I talk about them. Alright, so for your Celtic cross, in your current situation, you have the Two of Swords in reverse. This tells me that, well, it's kind of giving me a timing as well. So this is kind of not happened yet. It's almost a little bit in the future. Okay, and so you know, later on you have the Two of Cups, so these twos will play off of each other. Okay, so with your Two of Swords reversed, the timing for this is September 23rd, which is 2 days away from the day I'm making this video, all the way through October 2nd. So this is from now through mid-October, so this most likely will, the situation may start happening during that time, okay? And to me, the Two of Swords reversed is a pretty good situation to be in rather than Two of Swords upright. Also, the timing is about 2 weeks, which is pretty much what we're getting here. My moon's in Libra, so I know that this card has a moon in Libra because we have moon and then air sign, but I've just looked it up and because that's my moon sign. So you could have moon in Libra as well as Cancer. It's pretty cool. Not as a moon sign necessarily, but you have a sign in Cancer. Okay, so because the Two of Swords is reversed, I'm seeing that we're dealing with two people and a decision that has to be made. This is definitely regarding love. All of a sudden I can't talk and I don't have a drink. Okay. The advice here is, because of this love situation, you both need to let your guard down. You're both probably avoiding the truth, although I think that's going to change. The situation is coming to a head because it's been held back. But boy, when those swords come down, okay? And you're going to start looking for a solution to this issue. Because some other cards that we have in here later, somebody, you know, is trying to avoid seeing lies. You're being crossed by the Seven of Swords. So somebody is able to see somebody's, you know, machinations, all their little schemes and plans. Okay. This is saying you're trying to protect your heart from love. You're trying to protect your heart from being vulnerable. You're running away from love. But you're trying to protect yourself because you know this person is a little schemy. Okay. And because that Two of Cups that was over here before, you're kind of telling yourself, no, I can't fall in love with this person. I won't. You're creating emotional distance. You're trying to fight vulnerability. And so if you're deliberately avoiding the truth is that you love this person. They probably love you too. Maybe you're both avoiding this. And you're denying it. You're like, no, no. Putting all the walls up you can. In fact, I kind of see somebody putting their foot down and saying, no, you know, I'm not going to be besieged by your schemes because I have schemes of my own, is what I'm seeing. So you have plans, they have plans. You're not wanting them to get up on you, is what I'm seeing. Because he has 5 swords, which brings up the idea of 5 of Swords, which somebody's one-upping somebody. He's leaving 2 behind, and look who has the 2 swords, right? And you're like, you were holding them for a while. You were holding those 2 swords, those surrendered swords, right? But you're dropping them. You're like, no, I'm not going to take whatever you give me. I'm not going to be besieged by you. Whew. Okay, so that's your current situation as well as what you're crossed by. You may have to be crafty and schemy yourself, okay? I'm really trying to see what's on the, what is and is not. on here. Okay. In the root of your situation, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This talks about an offer coming through. So somebody may have made an offer, or you made an offer, and then somebody decided not to be vulnerable anymore. They could have made an offer that didn't really require much of them. They didn't have to take a risk or go out on a limb. Okay, in the recent past, you have the Star card. So in the recent past, you were probably vulnerable. So again, there was an offer, so maybe you were vulnerable, but maybe that offer wasn't taken, okay? And therefore somebody decided not to be vulnerable anymore. Could be dealing with an Aquarius, but this person's exposed in the spotlight. And I feel like they're waiting to feel special. Okay, I do want to clarify a little bit, but I didn't shuffle this deck, so let's see here. Let's clarify this Celtic Cancer from now through mid-October. Okay, why is the Star here? Oop. Dropping some. Why is the Star here in Cancer's recent past? Oh, we got 2 cards. Okay. Ah, 5 of Swords reversed. Didn't I just mention the 5 of Swords? 9 of Cups reversed. Somebody felt like they were exposed and vulnerable to being one-upped. Okay. Also, somebody felt pretty important because somebody was trying to come in and apologize, possibly. But overall, somebody was afraid of being exposed to somebody's selfish, one-upping ways. If you see here, I can't even think of what, the hilt of the sword is 2 hands coming together holding a heart. Okay, so the way for you to either win or lose is through both parties. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. Okay, but 5 of Swords reversed is good. Okay, it's probably coming about, you know, because you didn't want to take those swords anymore. Somebody may, in the recent past, that even could be now because it's not even the timing yet. Somebody wanted to lay down swords. That was probably, oh, their wish card. Okay. You had a wish, that's what it is, to lay down swords. And it didn't happen. So that was the offer, to lay down swords. To get on the right path. And you may have done some business with them, possibly, but it was rejected. You didn't get it. Dreams did not come true. And so you were vulnerable, and thus you decided not to be. But guess what? You were like non-vulnerable very, very short, because all of a sudden you're vulnerable again. You know, you're letting yourself be vulnerable. So Cancers, I mean, we're such good-hearted people that it is a little bit difficult for us to be closed off, okay? But the thing is, with your scheming, I think your scheming is to be blocked off. When really, you both need to come to some kind of a compromise, let your guards down. But I don't think that being stoic and whatnot is going to last very long. Just saying. Okay, this could be an alternate outcome. It could be advice or something to think about. This is the 3 of Swords. I do see that, you know, your heart's been broken by this relationship. By this, really, it's betrayal. I mean, you have 5 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Like, what did this person do to you? It's just pure evil almost. I mean, it just seems like it's really a betrayal. It's heartbreak. All of it's heartbreak. So this person must have meant a lot to you, is what I'm seeing. I mean, you had both the wish cards and all the bad sword cards. So, I mean, you didn't have 10 of swords. I take that back. You didn't have 10 of swords. But all this just tells me you had really high hopes and you just came crashing down. But that's all pretty much in the past. And now there's something coming up where you're going to be able to let down your guard. Okay, coming up in your near future. 10 of Wands reversed. 10 of Pentacles reversed. And 5 of Cups. When you have 2 10s, it talks about hope of emotional renewal. So that's in the cards for you. I mean, here we have the sadness, right? The 5 of Cups. There's, emotionally, I feel like there's a lot of changes going on for you. Because you have the 5 of Swords and the 5 of Cups. And I think you're still sad in the near future about the 5 of Swords. Or the 3 of Swords. Or the 7 of Swords. Okay? You're going to try and take your power back by being closed off. But really the way to get your power back is for both parties to be vulnerable. And the thing is, you can't control the other person. Therefore, you're like, well, I'm not going to be vulnerable if they're not going to be vulnerable. And you just don't have a way of knowing if they're being vulnerable. That's kind of what your issue is. But I'm seeing you're very tired of the dysfunction and the sadness. You're tired of sorrow. I'm also seeing you're slowly letting go of the situation. Because when you're putting up that wall, so you're not vulnerable, you're doing it by putting emotional distance, which means you're letting go. You're trying to become indifferent, but it makes you sad that you're doing that. And this is saying you can't deal with this person's dark side because you have enough of your own problems that you can't deal with their dark side too. Is what I'm seeing. Like it's a really big burden because when you guys get together, you're dysfunctional and you're just sad. But there is something there, okay? You guys do have it there. Because the 2 of Cups is in the background. And you will also have 2 of Cups as your outcome. Okay? Try not to spoil it, but oh well. So, you're trying to lay it down. Okay? You just can't deal with it. It's a lot. This relationship is pretty tumultuous from what I can tell. All right, Cancer, how you see yourself. 6 of Wands reversed and 5 of Wands. 6 of Wands reversed says go back to 5. Here it is, okay? So the 5 of Wands is real important as how you see yourself, and that's internal struggle. Also, this could be how you see yourself in the relationship, which is always fighting, okay? And it may not even be anything completely serious, okay? It could just be always, something is always making you guys fight. So you see yourself just always almost on guard a little bit. 6 of Wands reverse says not feeling success. You don't feel like success because you're always fighting. Also, you see yourself as not getting attention and you're fighting for attention. So these cards really go well together. What you're really wanting is to no longer have to fight and have the attention. No longer be in conflict and having success. Okay? But unfortunately, you're the other way around. And that's how you're seeing yourself. But you're seeing yourself as wanting their attention and not getting it. Okay? And yet you're still kind of fighting for it. Mostly because this person's probably a little bit of a narcissist. Okay? And I guess we don't get to pick who's who, right? So, you know, who we fall in love with kind of thing. You're trying to distance yourself, which is actually a good thing. Narcissists don't like that. But you're also seeing yourself within this relationship as opposed to just yourself alone. So you're seeing yourself within the context of this relationship. All right, so what's in your environment? The Three of Wands and Justice. So the Empress kind of came out with this combination in reverse. But these two fell out on the desk. The other one kind of fell out on the floor really far away and I had to go get it. And it was in reverse. So I thought maybe it wasn't really supposed to come out. But I will talk about it because just a little bit, I think you're kind of waiting on this person to get out of a relationship. Okay. Because Justice and Empress could be like bride, marriage, or something that's contracted. And she's reversed. So you're kind of waiting for them to get out of it. Plus we have the Three of Wands, which is third party. But, in your environment, you're waiting on justice. You feel like an injustice was done to you with Five of Swords, Three of Swords, and Seven of Swords. Jeez. God. Okay. Cancers. Whew. Okay. That was mainly what I had for your environment. There's not really a person. I mean, you may be waiting for a person to get out of somebody else's environment, okay? I mean, and if you have Libra in your moon or Libra in your chart at all, you're in your own environment. But your environment is you're kind of by yourself and waiting. Yeah, that's all I really have right there. I'm going to bring this Three of Wands into some of the other combinations that are coming up. So I'm going to leave it here. Here's your hopes and fears, Cancer. And this shows you how big your hopes and fears are. Boy, do we hope and fear. Okay. And then we have the Three of Wands. First thing that came out, all three of these came together. Okay, but first thing that came out I saw first was the Tower. I'm like, of course. Of course. And the Eight of Cups reversed came after that. And then Temperance. But that's how they kind of fell out. It was more like, let's see, like that. Okay. So, but the Three of Wands seems to really play a lot into these cards because it was right underneath them whenever I originally set it out. Right now, I feel like you're in survival mode, okay? Because you have the Tower. Those are your instincts. But it's also about being vulnerable, okay? So you're afraid of being vulnerable, but yet you also hope that one day you actually could be vulnerable. So it's a catch-22 because this person is like almost like a ticking time bomb. With that Five of Cups you had in your near future, this tells me that you fear that you'll be arguing. With that Seven of Swords, you fear they'll be lying. You're also afraid somebody may turn their back on you and that you're going to just be waiting. But the Tower and Three of Wands says there's a surprise meeting. Like when you meet, there's like lightning. So kind of like not love at first sight because you already know each other. This is like love at first sight again. I don't know. It's like a magnetic attraction. This is like saying thank God, thank your angels, which we do have one here, right? For this meeting. Also, this is a breakthrough. And the Two of Swords reversed that was in your situation is also a breakthrough. So it's, say thank God for this breakthrough. I'm also seeing trauma being healed. So I think that star is actually going to come out towards the end, okay? But I'm seeing both people kind of struck by lightning. And there's definitely chemistry and not being able to move on. So you're kind of hoping for this. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It could, but you're hoping for this. All right, so with the Temperance and the Tower card, you're kind of hoping again that this person and somebody else will get divorced or, break up. However, they might lose their house or somebody might move out of the house. And what you're fearing is that you're going to have to walk on pins and needles with this person. Walk on eggshells. You're always going to be on pins and needles waiting for something. You're just going to be waiting for this person's outburst. Kind of always afraid they're going to walk away and that you're just going to be left waiting. Your hope is they're going to come back and not be able to move on. You're waiting for that. You're waiting for them to come back. Your hope is to make it work and for them to come back and be happy. I do think this other person might be confused about what they want, because we had the 9 of Cups reversed. This says go back to 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups is here. It's reversed. It says go back to 7. 7 is all those options and confusion and daydreaming. So you're probably afraid you're a little bit in an illusion, but you're afraid they have a lot of options, and they probably do. They're very confused. You're not. You know what you want, but you also know what you can't afford to lose. All right, so with Temperance and 3 of Wands, you are hoping that just like bam, like the Tower, like the lightning, bam, person comes back and it's like sparks and chemistry and you're like instantly lovers, okay? You also have the 2 of Cups here, which is funny because that's your outcome. So your outcome may be what your hopes is, but it's not all roses, okay? Because what you fear is also probably something that will happen, okay? Coming up in the second, I'm going to talk about it. So yes, it's love at first sight. Yes, it's lots of chemistry and whatnot. But you fear what you already know is true about the relationship, and that's that you clash constantly, okay? But the thing is, you are so close to each other. Like, you can't move on from each other. You're made from the same, not mold, like cup, like you both have the same contents. You're both water. Oh, maybe it's a water sign. But you're just 2 different vessels. So you're kind of sharing the same water. You're the same person. You're that close, but yet you always clash. And so I kind of think of it as turning these cups over. The water splashes into each other, but they can't get away from each other. You know, things are going to spill. It's going to be messy, but you're like the same person, okay? And even comes in with that 2 of Cups here in the outcome, like the intertwining of people. It's coming together like that as one. Also, this is telling me that you either hope for it or it will happen, that there's a breakthrough, an intimacy coming for you. And that's what you've kind of been hoping for. And it says to thank your angels for it. So you may even join forces in a business way, because I think of 3 of Wands a lot as business. And you did have the Ace of Pentacles, so somehow you might merge with business. I'm not sure what that's about. But I am going to tell you this relationship, or at least what you're fearing, but your fears aren't really like delusional. They're right on. What you fear could actually happen. And that's this relationship will continue to be dramatic, traumatic, okay? That's why this 8 of Cups here, can't move on, keep coming back. But then it's like fighting and, you know, them being lovers and then fighting is kind of what I see. So that does kind of come up to my point that I'm going to get later, but you're just kind of waiting for a meltdown to happen. You're kind of waiting for this person's tantrum. Maybe like when you first meet, but you're also kind of waiting on that spark, but you're not sure, am I going to get the lightning or am I going to get burned by the lightning? You know, am I going to get the sparks or am I going to get the tantrum? You're just not really sure. So this person seems to have a little bit of explosive, maybe intermittent explosive disorder. I don't know. But it says if you're intimate with this person, it's going to bring you drama. And so coming up to that point that was kind of made a little bit earlier, you kind of, I won't, not break up, but you fight. But to make it a little bit more cliche, you break up to make up. So maybe this person, because they're so volatile, it's never steady really is what I'm seeing. But yet you can't move on. They can't move on probably either. It's as if it's like you're you're going to have really good makeup sex pretty much. And that may be, and then you're just really close. So that may be the good part of this relationship, and everything else may be drama. And it's really up to you what you want. But I will tell you, for your outcome, which we already know, is the Two of Cups. So you're wanting to come together with this person. You both want to kind of see eye to eye. You both want to bring in your cups. And yet you do have somebody presiding over you two. So there is some kind of a providential kind of meeting. And the cups aren't spilling just yet. Okay. But the chemistry's there. And I feel like you guys will be vulnerable, both of you. There's going to have to be a truce probably. But you will eventually start seeing the vulnerability coming from both sides. You know, if this is meant for you. And then you could form a partnership of love, business, okay, friendship. Okay, let's get clarification for the Two of Cups. Whoa. Damn it. Oh my God. Okay, I was going to get 2 cards, but I don't know if I want to. This is good. The Four of Wands. Joy and stability. Stability? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you shitting me? This relationship has no stability. I mean, I guess maybe when the good times are good, they're really good. But these are both marriage cards. And we did have Justice in the upright. So in your environment, you might be marrying this person. And maybe you're waiting for them to get divorced, really. Or to separate from somebody. That's possible. But you have lots of happiness and celebration about coming together. This is your outcome. I couldn't think of 2 better cards to get for your outcome. Which is why I don't want to pull another one, okay? This is really good. It's a really tumultuous relationship. Maybe it starts to calm down, you know, as far as anger and drama. Maybe that calms down eventually, but I feel like it's going to be cyclical, okay? But your outcome is niceness right here. I believe this is a Cancer card. I don't know what this is. Probably exalted in Cancer or something. All right. Well, good luck, Cancer. This is a pretty nice reading. Nicest one we've had in a while. You just have to, you can see all the bad stuff that you've been getting in all your readings. And it looks like there's going to be some kind of headway made by mid-October. All right. Good luck, Cancers.